Welcome to Talk Blaze. Today, we uncover how ZARA revolutionized fashion and built a global empire. Let's dive in. Have you ever felt the urge to buy something before it's gone? That thrill when you see the perfect outfit, the right fit, the right price, the right trend. But in the back of your mind, there's a thought. If I don't grab it now, it might be gone tomorrow. That's not just shopping, that's psychology. A strategy so powerful, it turned a small store in Spain into a global fashion empire. This is the story of ZARA. To understand why ZARA became one of the biggest names in fashion, we have to go way back to the 1970s. At the time, fashion was slow. Big brands like Gucci, Chanel, and Dior dominated, creating exclusive designs that took months, sometimes years, to reach consumers. If you wanted high fashion, you paid a premium. But in the small coastal city of La Coruña, Spain, a man named Amancio Ortega had a different vision. Fashion shouldn't be slow. It shouldn't be expensive, and it shouldn't take months to go from the runway to the streets. Ortega wasn't a designer. He didn't come from a wealthy family. In fact, he dropped out of school at 13 years old to work as a delivery boy for a local clothing shop. He spent years watching how the fashion business worked, how materials were bought, how clothes were made, and how customers reacted. He saw a problem and an opportunity. What if, instead of waiting months for high-end designs to trickle down to consumers, you could make them instantly available? What if you could create a system where fashion moved as fast as demand? That idea became ZARA. In 1975, Ortega opened a small store in La Coruña. He called it Zorba. Yes, Zorba. Inspired by the 1964 film Zorba the Greek, he wanted the name to reflect a bold and free-spirited brand. But there was a problem. Just 2 blocks away, a bar had the same name. Ortega had already made the store signs, so with some quick thinking, he rearranged the letters, and ZARA was born. But what made ZARA different? At the time, clothing brands followed a traditional model. Designers create trends, factories produce them, stores sell them. It was a long, expensive process, and by the time a design reached stores, it was often outdated. ZARA changed everything. Instead of designing clothes a year in advance, Ortega created a system where trends were made and sold in real time. If customers wanted a jacket, a dress, or a specific style, they didn't have to wait months. ZARA could design, produce, and stock stores in just 2 weeks. This was unheard of in the fashion world, and it worked. By the early 1980s, ZARA was growing fast. But Ortega wasn't satisfied. He wanted more. Most clothing companies manufactured their clothes overseas to save money. But Ortega saw the flaw. Longer production times meant slower response to trends. So instead of outsourcing everything, he did something radical. He kept manufacturing local. While other brands relied on third-party suppliers, ZARA controlled its entire supply chain, from design to production to sales. This gave ZARA an unmatched advantage: speed. Instead of waiting 6 months for a product to be made, ZARA could do it in 2 weeks. Flexibility? If a style wasn't selling, they immediately stopped production. No waste, no excess stock. Exclusivity. Clothes weren't overproduced. If you saw something you liked, you had to buy it now, before it disappeared. And this strategy wasn't just good business, it was a psychological trick. Customers felt urgency. If they didn't buy today, they might never get the chance again. This buy-now mentality turned ZARA into a shopping addiction. People didn't just visit ZARA stores once a season, they came back every few weeks because new products were always arriving. By the 1990s, ZARA had expanded beyond Spain into Portugal, France, and the United States. And the fashion world took notice. Luxury brands scoffed. They called ZARA cheap, fast, and unoriginal. But customers didn't care. They wanted affordable, trendy clothes, and they wanted them now. And just like that, ZARA changed the rules of fashion forever. By the 1990s, ZARA had already changed fashion forever. The idea of fast fashion, clothes made quickly, responding in real time to customer demand, was no longer just an experiment. It was working. ZARA stores were spreading across Europe and North America, and the world was starting to take notice. But Amancio Ortega wasn't done. He didn't just want ZARA to be a successful fashion brand. He wanted to build an empire. At this point, ZARA had already broken every rule in the fashion industry. They didn't advertise. No flashy commercials, no celebrity endorsements. They didn't follow seasons. No spring, summer, fall, or winter collections, just constant new releases. They didn't mass produce. Instead of stocking warehouses full of the same products, ZARA kept inventory low and changed collections every few weeks. But to truly dominate the fashion world, Ortega needed one thing: speed. In 1990, he built one of the most advanced logistics systems in the world, a giant distribution center in Spain that allowed ZARA to design a product, manufacture it, and ship it to stores in under 15 days, restock shelves twice a week, more than any other fashion brand, eliminate waste. If a product didn't sell well, production stopped immediately. No other clothing company could move this fast, and customers noticed. Because ZARA released new collections so often, shoppers returned again and again just to see what was new. While traditional brands relied on advertising, ZARA let its stores do the talking. The strategy worked. By 1997, ZARA had expanded to New York, Paris, and Tokyo, the fashion capitals of the world. And suddenly, a brand that started in a small Spanish city was competing with Gucci, Prada, and Louis Vuitton. But unlike luxury brands, ZARA wasn't selling exclusivity. It was selling accessibility. High fashion, but affordable. Trendy, but disposable. Luxury-inspired, but made for the masses. And as ZARA's influence grew, so did its impact. By the early 2000s, ZARA was no longer just a brand. It was a movement. Other companies saw its success and rushed to copy its model. H&M, Forever 21, and Topshop followed ZARA's lead, creating their own versions of fast fashion. The fashion industry, once controlled by elite designers and luxury brands, was suddenly in a new era. Social media and online shopping supercharged the trend. Now, new styles could go viral overnight, and fast fashion brands could recreate them instantly. ZARA didn't just change how we shop, it changed how we think about clothes. Instead of investing in a few high-quality pieces, people started buying more, wearing less, and constantly chasing trends. And with this rapid growth came a new problem. ZARA didn't just follow trends, it changed them. From a small shop in Spain to a global fashion empire, it revolutionized the way we shop, creating a world where fashion moves at lightning speed. But with great success comes great responsibility. ZARA's impact on fashion, business, and the environment is undeniable. It mastered the art of urgency, made high fashion accessible, and built an empire on speed. But now, as the world demands sustainability, the question remains: can fast fashion ever truly be responsible? ZARA continues to adapt, innovate, and evolve. But one thing is certain, fashion will never be the same. Because in the world of ZARA, the only thing that never changes is change itself. ZARA had revolutionized the industry, but it had also created an environmental crisis. The same things that made ZARA so successful, speed, affordability, and mass production, also led to textile waste skyrocketing. Millions of clothes were thrown away each year, ending up in landfills, water consumption increasing. Producing fast fashion used billions of gallons of water, leading to pollution, labor, concerns emerging. As demand grew, some of ZARA's factories were accused of poor working conditions and low wages. Activists and environmental groups called out ZARA for prioritizing profit over sustainability. And for the first time, the company had to face the consequences of its own success. Would ZARA be able to adapt? Or was fast fashion doomed to collapse under its own weight?